What is going on, all of you amazing gamers out there in the world? I am Mega Amster. Thank you for watching this video. Whether you are a new or returning viewer, I appreciate you being here. And today I wanted to present some alternatives to Geoff Keighley's The Game Awards, because I don't want this to be necessarily just like a whole roasting of Geoff Keighley's event. But essentially what I want this to be, we can all have our issues. I personally have mine as well. But especially this upcoming year has had a lot of controversy surrounding the Game Awards that Geoff Keighley hosts, especially regarding, for example, big thing being Shadow of the Erdtree, an expansion to Game of the Year 2022 that won at that award show, that being nominated for Game of the Year when it's an expansion, not a full release. That's caused a lot of controversy. I'm personally on the side that doesn't think it should be included, but that's just me. We all can have our opinions here. Among other issues, Geoff Keighley's events in the past have not always been the best well-paced. A lot of times they don't seem to focus necessarily on the awards and more so there for the ads and the reveals. All sorts of critiques you can throw at this show. I get enjoyment out of some of it. There are things that I wish were better, but this is the 10th year anniversary of the show being a legit thing. This being 2024, if you're watching this recording later. And it's just, I don't know, I feel like it hasn't changed a lot in those last 10 years. There really haven't been many, at least in the last several years for sure, there haven't been many changes in categories and stuff like that. And a lot of it feels the same. It's still been the 3 hours with all the ads and reveals and the awards. And I don't know, there's a lot of things I don't like about that format. And I mean, Geoff is receptive to some feedback, but it doesn't seem like much of the show is changing. So I wanted to present two different alternatives, if especially if you're like me and, the reveals are nice, but you really want to be here for the awards, right? We can get reveals for games in so many other forms, like Nintendo Directs, Sony PlayStation showcases, State of Plays, Xbox Developer Directs, all sorts of social media drops and everything. We can get reveals that way, right? Personally, I'm here for the awards, and I want to care more about the awards. And these next couple alternatives I will present to you do care more about the awards. So let's dive into them. One of them being the Golden Joystick Awards. Now, these happened just a few days ago. As of this recording, I could not react live to it because I believe it's hosted in the UK. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong about that. It is definitely somewhere in Europe, so not a friendly time zone for me to be able to live react to. This year, 2024, Ben Starr, the English voice actor for Clive in Final Fantasy 16, hosted, and he was really funny. Apparently the Golden Joystick, I didn't even realize, I can look it up, but apparently the Golden Joystick Awards have been going on for quite a long time. Even longer, 1983, which is kind of crazy to think about. So back in the days of old, I guess, Atari game and PC games and stuff like that. So the Golden Joysticks just recently celebrated its 40th anniversary. Now, I don't know for sure if it's happened every year, but it's happened many years. And the one thing I like about this show, it really focuses more on the awards. Now, if you're tuning into the Game Awards for the reveals and not the awards, you're not going to like the show. These two alternatives are definitely focused on awarding creativity for gaming and studios and developers. So if you're really only into the reveals, you're not going to like these. And, these alternatives are going to present kind of that stuff. But what was nice about this is that, I will spoil the winners, so apologies about that. There was a lot more variety in terms of the nominees, just right off the bat. A lot of cool indie games that I had not even heard of were present in this presentation for nominations. But of course, you had your big ones like Astrobot, Balatro, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Black Myth Wukong. I think I only saw Shadow of the Erdtree once, and it's in a category that makes a lot more sense. I'm going to dive into all the categories in a second here. A lot of the guest speakers weren't necessarily celebrities. They were people involved in the gaming industry or some of the hosts of other gaming shows. So the hosts were really good. Yeah, shout out to Best FF7 for winning Best Storytelling. And the nice thing is that they do not cut off the speeches. And I get with Geoff Keighley's event that they kind of felt the need to, because they have so many ad spots, so many reveals, so many things to nominate, the whole musical presentations. This show has fewer musical performances. That is one of the things I like more about the Game Awards compared to this. I really like the musical performance of the Game Awards and the variety in terms of skits and stuff. I do like that, as corny as some of those can be. This one had a final Game of the Year celebration of all of the big nominees at the end there. But it's nice that the developers actually get to come up here and they're all, pretty short, succinct, to the point, but like they're able to go on. They're not cut off up on the stage here. It makes me think like Geoff's scared to like have people talk for more than like 20 seconds. You know what I mean? Like last year in particular, 2023, the Game Awards, it was bad. People were getting cut off left and right. It was honestly really bad. And it's not fair to some of them. They don't really get to say their 2 cents and like thank the people they want to thank. So it really is organized well that way. There were some technical difficulties, but like those always happen with these events. I thought it was balanced overall, and it wasn't even a full. So I know this says 3 hours, but look when it started. It officially started with this little intro video at the 35-minute mark, and then there's also like a solid 5 minutes at the end. So really, this is like 2 hours and 15 minutes of a presentation, which is almost a whole hour shorter than the Game Awards. Those usually go on for about 3 hours. So this is a much more succinct and to the point award show. And honestly, I might have about the same amount of nominees. Let's get into the nominees as the Game Awards, but I think they're much better categories. Let's take a look. And they also mention they constantly change out the categories. So let's look here. Shout out to Games Radar. They sponsor the event, so they had some of it here. So let's look at this list here. So yeah, best audio design, Astrobot. Rebirth got soundtrack and storytelling. Helldivers 2 won quite a bit, got multiplayer. Black Myth Wukong got visual design. Balatro got indie game. Self-published indie game. See, Game Awards has debut indie and just indie. And I feel like the self-published makes more sense to me, and I think it's something worth celebrating more than just debut indie. I mean, debut indie meaning like a studio's first indie, so I get that, but this makes way more sense to me. Specifically saying self-published makes a hell of a lot of sense, right? Balatro wasn't self-published. That was published by, I believe it was Local Thunk? I was a developer. No, who was the publisher? Let me know in the comments below. It was not self-published from what I can tell. It was not included in the nominees there. Same thing with like with Animal Well. That was up for best indie game as well, but it was published by Big Mode, not by Billy Basso. So yeah, Studio of the Year team is Studio of the Year. Great category. There's nothing about esports or content creators here, but like then again, I feel like you don't really necessarily need those. The esports one could be nice for those fans. Studio of the Year, so good, especially when Geoff's talking about like highlighting game industry veterans and like highlighting these companies that make these games. Having a Studio of the Year category feels like a no-brainer. And Team Asobi won that. That was great. Lead performer and supporting performer. I think Game Awards might just have one performer category. Best performance, I think. Let me know in the comments below. But that's kind of a cool way to break it out. Breakthrough Award is very cool. Critics' Choice. I like this because, see, here's the thing. With the Golden Joystick Awards, they are 100% fan-voted. It is not like the Game Awards where you have the jury of all critics and also game developers and publishers, influencers in that group. This is 100% fan voted. So if you like that, you might like this more. The Breakthrough Award is the Critics' Choice. That's critics only, and they voted for Balatro, which is cool to have an award specific to them. I think that makes a lot of sense. I guess the Game Awards is kind of the opposite because they have the player's voice, player's choice, whatever it's called, and that's fan voted. But like, I don't know. I think this works better. They also have, still playing on console and PC and mobile. They shout out mobile here too. They also split it up: PC Game of the Year and Console Game of the Year, and of course, Ultimate Game of the Year, which ended up being Black Myth Wukong, which was actually really cool. I mean, being fan voted, that game apparently has a very big community, so and fan following, so that's there. Most wanted game, of course, GTA 6. No duh. Critics' Choice Award. This one, okay, actually, how is this different? Maybe, okay, so this is Critics' Choice. I guess these are both critics. I'm trying to remember. Breakthrough, I think, is like kind of coming out of nowhere, is what that award's supposed to be. And this is more critics. That's a little confusing. That could be better. Best Game Expansion. If the Golden Joysticks can have that category, the Game Awards certainly can. But I don't know who's so stubborn to not include it as a category, but there you go. This makes sense. Well-deserved for Shadow of the Erdtree. Best gaming hardware, that was really cool. I wish Geoff did more of that too, getting the Steam Deck OLED. Early access game is really cool because like some games that are in early access get thrown into the regular nominees in the Game Awards, but having the early access game specifically here is great. Game trailer is really cool. I like that idea because game trailers like reveals marketing is such a big deal. Streamer's Choice, that's kind of similar to the content creator one, but it's like more like choosing the game rather than content creator. I think that's kind of cool. The adaptation like Game of the Year has, and then of course Ultimate Game of the Year being Black Myth Wukong. Like, it's far from perfect, but I think these categories are much better than the Game Awards. And like the one thing I would add would be like some of the esports stuff. Like I know that's a huge scene in the gaming space, so having some categories for that I think would still be cool, like best esports game, best esports team, stuff like that. I think would make more sense. But overall, like these, I think especially like Studio of the Year, the Still Playing Awards is really cool. The Critics' Choice ones and Streamer's Choice and Game Trailer and Hardware and Expansion. Like so many of these things that are clearly missed from the Game Awards. And I think this is about the same number of categories. I don't know. Another thing I do wish this had was I do like how the Game Awards splits up music and audio because those are different. So I do appreciate that part of it. There are some things like with the nominees, the awards that are better than with the Game Awards. You know, I won't lie. But like, I prefer this structure. And the big thing is just they focus way more on the awards. There were a few indie game reveals, but that was about it. Still something at least, but like it really is focused on the awards and I think much better pace. So definitely would recommend watching 2024's Golden Joystick. See what you think. Maybe skim through. See what you think. The other one I want to shout out, I know I talked about that for a while, so I won't spend too much time on this. It hasn't happened yet as of this recording, but that is the Indie Game Awards, which I did not even know this was a thing until this year. So this is, I believe, hosted by IGN, focused specifically on indie games. So you can see Best Debut, Accessibility is a great category. Actually, I wish... music, there we go. I do kind of wish they had I don't think they had an accessibility category for Golden Joystick. You can see all the nominees. Bite-sized game, I love that. Like, look at all these. And these are, yeah, like I said, all indie games. Innovation is really cool. Emotional impact, that's kind of cool. My perfect, like, gameplay design. My perfect award ceremony would have categories somewhere in between the Game Awards and Golden Joysticks. More leaning towards the Golden Joysticks. I think those award categories, for the most part, are much better. Woman-led games, that's fucking awesome to see. Solo development, of course, shout out. Kind of like the self-published one. And then Game of the Year, of course, with more than 6 nominees. That's great. Shout out to all the presenters. You'll love to see it. I do kind of want to go to show up their page here as well. Fewer awards for sure than something like Golden Joystick or the Game Awards, but like still really cool. I just love that they're highlighting indie specifically because as someone who's trying to get more into indie gaming, this is really cool to see because a lot of indie games get overshadowed in events like the Golden Joysticks, in events like the Game Awards, especially the Game Awards just really highlights the AAA games. There are some indie games, but not a lot. So if you're into indie gaming, something like this might be more up your alley. But yeah, having Debut, the accessibility one's great, music. See, I wish this one had audio and music separate, you know? That's one thing I'll give the Game Awards credit for. Visual design, bite-sized games, cool. I like that. Innovation, emotional impact. I think Game Awards has something similar to that. Community management, they have something similar to that too, which is cool. Narrative, storyteller and narrative, what's the difference? Recognize a game that delivers a powerful narrative with compelling characters, immersive worlds, and thought-provoking themes. Storyteller, recognizing exceptional storytellers, profound narratives. Oh. Recognizing an exceptional storyteller whose profound narratives in games creates a lot. Oh, so this is a specific player? Is it like a narrator? Huh. So this is like a narrator award? Interesting. So this is going to be announced during the Indie Game Awards. Cool. Woman-led game is awesome. I love that they're highlighting that, especially in this industry. I think it's important too. Solo development, of course, is awesome. Industry impact. Recognizing individuals and organizations. Oh, cool. Ooh. Oh, nice. Individuals and organizations, that's a cool one. I like that a lot. They have something with, what is it, like I forget what it's called in the Game Awards, but they have something similar, but it's not like an award necessarily. And then Game of the Year. The fact that they're not limiting themselves to 6 nominees for every category, right? Some it makes sense, but like especially Game of the Year, Golden Joystick and IGAs do both of this, where, yeah, it's like, in this case, what, 10 nominees? Golden Joystick had like I think 12 maybe, which like can be too much depending on your taste, but like why limit yourself to 6 in every category? I don't know. I like this. I really do. Duck Detective Secret Salami, great name. So of course, if you're not into indie gaming, this isn't going to be for you for sure, because you may not recognize some of these games. But if you want to get into indie gaming or already are, like this might be more appealing to you. So for this year, this is happening on December 19th. On IGN's website and YouTube, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. This one I might live react to. It's not far before, actually. Oh shit, is that the night of Sonic 3? I gotta figure out if I'm seeing Sonic 3 live in theaters, because if I am, then I won't be reacting live to this. But if I'm not, I don't know if I'm going to be honest. We'll see. Probably not the night of. But hey, if I'm around, I'll be live reacting to this one, because I think it'll be fun. I don't think it's gonna be super long. It might be like an hour and a half. This seems like a great platform to showcase these games. So Yeah, I don't know. Just a couple alternatives, definitely different alternatives. The golden joysticks are closer to something along the lines of the Game Awards if you're into that sort of setup. But I think golden joysticks has more variety. I like a lot of their categories more. And I think they actually focus more on the games and the awards and the developers. I really do think. And the Indie Game Awards I have not watched previously, so take that one with a grain of salt. But it seems like it could be really fun, especially if you love indie games. So I just wanted to present these, and just to reiterate, not to completely roast Geoff Keighley's Game Awards event, because I think there are some things he does right. But as I've gotten to watch them over the years, and I've been like paying attention to the gaming industry over the years, it really is focused mostly on the reveals and the ad spots, and it every year it creeps in more and more. These two focus more on the awards, so if you're more into that, check these out. If you're more into the reveals, check out the Game Awards. Like, that's fine too, but depends on what you like, depends on your preferences. But just wanted to present a couple alternatives here in case you were interested. But with that, that is going to do it for this video. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this? Have you watched the Indie Game Awards before? Because I don't think they're new. Have you watched the Golden Joystick Awards? What do you think of all the nominees? What do you think of the winners in the case of the Golden Joysticks? And what are your thoughts on the current state of the Game Awards? Do you like it? Do you not? Let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I will catch you all on the next video or live stream. And until then, take care. Get ready for awards ceremony. Hopefully something will win. Outro Game of the Year.